Brought to you by Liquid Death.
Yeah. That'd be sick. You never know, dude. You gotta keep that in your head. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, and welcome back to Right Hand Drive Guys. Today is episode 32.
32.
Yeah, that's wild. And I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
And this is going to be part 2 of our, bringing in the GTT and what it took and the whole process.
Right.
And so if you listen to part 1, then you kind of heard the process while the car was in Japan.
Yeah.
While, working with Trevor and getting through everything.
Right,
and
how to talk to people, and just figuring out where the car goes from where and just how that whole process works.
Yeah, so in today's episode, we're going to kind of give you more of the shipping and then port clearing side of things.
The scary part,
yeah,
right?
which is really what most people, in my experience, are intimidated by is like, well, what happens after it gets off the boat? Like, what am I going to have to do, And
Right.
I guess I would say I was the same way because it was very intimidating, but in the end of it, we were like, that's it.
Right.
It's
It's one of those things that, it's built up in your head like this huge thing because obviously you're not going to port every day to get your package that you're getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. So, after you deal with it, it's a lot smoother.
Yeah, a lot smoother. So, just to kind of take you back to the beginning, so come June, car was ready to ship. It was legal to ship. So Trevor went, got it from Stacked, got it brought over to the port. And so at that point, he was able to give me the quote on shipping.
Right.
And so, in my head, I was like, well, shipping a car from California to Maine's like $2,000.
Yeah.
Shipping a car from Japan to New York has to be $5,000.
Yeah.
Right? Like how does this even make sense?
Right.
But it turns out it was actually $1,800, which
Not
was
bad.
I was like, really? I'm like, that's it.
Considering,
like
it's a car on a
boat.
Yeah. And it's
I'm
a whole
like,
car.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, is that just for the seats? Like,
Right.
But no, so it was $1,800, and of course I was like, all right, like let's do it.
Yeah.
And so if you did listen to the last episode, you would hear that my major gripe was having to wire money.
Yeah.
I had to go wire another for the fourth time.
Right.
The shipping money.
Your bank is like, dude, no, absolutely no. Like, what is going on?
What is it? Where
Are you being held hostage?
Yeah.
What's going on? Is this ransom money?
Are you funding Al Qaeda?
Yeah.
What the heck?
They're like going through the list of things. Like,
yeah.
It's like, no, dude, listen, it's a car.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
I wish that I could have paid it all at once, but that's just not how it went. So
Right.
I paid the $1,800. So at this point, I have to have somebody help me out on my side of things in the U.S.
Yeah.
That is going to work with Trevor, work with me, work with customs and everybody over here.
Right.
And, Trevor being the awesome guy that he is, he said, hey, you're going to use Becky over at Sound Brokerage. She's going to take care of you. I guarantee it's flawless. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, no arguments there.
Yeah, if that dude says it's legit, then, like.
Yeah, if
it's
not,
probably legit.
I mean, So that was the thing. I had seen other places that do it, and, I've heard of, like, another handful that you could use. And Sound Brokerage, which is who Becky works for, was one of the ones that was really good. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's one person I believe that I have seen on the groups mentioned as well. Whenever you just said that, kind of, I remember reading that on those import groups on Facebook.
Yeah.
And because this is like a common question that people ask all the time.
All the time.
And like, because it is this unknown thing and it's scary. It's like, well, what happens if I mess this up? Are they going to just throw the car back in the water? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. What? Do they send it back? Is it returned to sender? Like,
like, what's going to happen to my car, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to crush it on spot? Like,
right. So it is a very worrisome thing. And So I'm here to tell you, really don't worry at all because it's really not bad. And so I'm going to go through just the paperwork that Becky had me fill out and just to kind of get, and then the paperwork I didn't have to fill out that she handled, just so you guys understand what it actually takes to make this happen. And so what happens is when it does get on the boat, then Trevor sends you this nice clear little folder full of stuff that you're going to need. So he sends us things like our export certificate in Japanese.
Wow.
So that's an original.
That's
and then
cool.
the converted export certificate, which
has the VIN and all that on it.
Yeah. It's kind of like the title in a sense.
Right.
You know, it's verification.
The latest owner.
And that's the English, translation for it, so that when we go to register it, it's cool.
That's pretty cool.
3 copies of the bill of lading, which is pretty much the receipt for the car going onto the cargo ship.
Yeah.
So you get an original and then 2 duplicates of that, and it's cool. It's on this weird longer paper.
That's pretty sick.
Not. It's actually the same paper. And then he also sends you a bill of sale, which you'll need to register the car and get it through customs anyways. So nice little bill of sale with the Kizo stamp on it.
Bam.
And so I believe that is the end of what Trevor sends with the car.
Oh man, he didn't hook you up on the sale price for taxes, bro?
No, it don't work like that. Japanese are very honest, and they're not willing to skimp on anything so that you can save a few bucks.
No, that's totally understandable. That's legit, legit on him too.
So that was so pretty much bill of sale, bill of lading, and export certificate is what he is going to send you for the car.
Yeah.
And so now it's time, like when Becky starts working with you, she's going to send you some packets, and she's going to need something called an ISF form, and it's an importer or shipper's letter of instruction. And so this is something that you have to fill out about the car, and it's really pretty basic. It's just got my name and address and Kizo's, name and address and what the vehicle is and the bill of lading number. And so that's a pretty simple one to fill out that Becky's going to give you. There's a declaration for DOT, and this is what tells the people at the port that this car is, in fact, 25 years older and exempt. And so I have to fill out this form because I am technically the registered importer. At this point, when you do it yourself, you become a registered importer. And so I needed to fill this out so that it's like, I don't know, what would you call that? Like, so it's official, so to speak, filled out by the importer. She couldn't fill this out for me.
Right.
And so you just have to check off this vehicle is 25 or more years old, and it is exempt from the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards.
Yeah.
So
pretty
that's
simple.
A pretty easy one.
Right.
Next up is an EPA form, which is pretty much the same. You're just filling out the info about the vehicle and yourself being the importer.
EPA form.
Yeah, it's a
scary.
declaration form.
I'm always sketched out when I see the EPA.
But that was easy. That was easy stuff to fill out. It's really just your name and your address and whatnot. It's really, really pretty simple. So beyond that, once those were the 2 forms I had to fill out, Becky kind of handled everything else.
Yeah.
And so beyond that, what happens is once the car lands, they give you, Becky will send you a payment receipt and an entry summary and arrival notice. And so, the receipt's the receipt, but these are the entry summary and arrival notice.
Yeah.
And so basically, this is what you have to bring everything, but this is what they want to see at the port, that it's arrival notice from your shipper with your info and exactly what was on it. And so, it's all pretty pretty simple.
So, and you get that as it leaves, right?
You get this when it arrives.
Oh, you get that when it arrives.
Yeah, I get this from Becky when
I
it comes. Yeah.
I got you.
So those are the things that she's going to send you. And then at that point, it was pretty much, okay, I got all the paperwork.
Right.
The car is in the United States. It's in Newark.
Right.
She hit me up. It landed on 9/7 at 10:45 a.m.
Decent.
Yeah. No, that's what time we arrived. Sorry. It arrived on 9/4.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's been 3 days.
3 days, and then we were there. So basically at this point, she gives you all the paperwork. They are releasing it to you, and you can go get it at the port.
Yeah.
So to this point, I've filled out 3 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
That's it. I've written my name and address on 3 pieces of paper.
Right.
That is it. I haven't had to struggle. I haven't had to sit on the phone for 3 hours on hold. Like, I literally have not had to do anything but fill out 3 papers. Becky from Sound Brokerage has handled the rest.
Damn.
That's dope.
That's
It
decent.
was cool.
3
and
papers.
So all in all, on my receipt, I have a $2,400 bill, and that includes quite a bit of stuff. I thought I had like an itemized part somewhere here that I can't seem to find. But this included like all customs fees, brokerage fees, the port fee, everything like that. So all in all, $2,400 to have it brought in here.
Right. On top of the shipping.
On top of the shipping.
So after shipping, $2,400, and then
and you're good.
You're here.
It's released. Yeah. So I'm cool with that. I mean, I get it, right? I wouldn't have really expected less to be able to bring a car into this country, so to speak.
So would that be less if the car was of lesser value?
It probably was based on value, I would assume.
So if you're bringing in like a K truck or
yes, I think you'd probably pay less. And I wish I did have that itemized receipt with me. I apologize on that, but yes, I do believe that you would have been probably cheaper depending on, what you're actually getting. Like, because obviously with the price I paid for this, there's a percentage there. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's sick. I mean, that doesn't seem like much though. I mean, like, yeah, it's the fee on top of everything else, but as far as like your work involved, it's not that bad. Like you said, it was just your name and address on a few pieces of paper that has the line that says name and address.
Yeah.
Like,
it was easy. It's like filling out anything.
Yeah. So that's crazy. That's like
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it another one of those like, that's it?
Yeah, I was like, really? I'm like, what else? She's like, no, you're good.
No,
just
you're
leave
good.
Me
just
alone.
Chill.
Yeah,
for a few days,
just leave me alone. And so, I feel like that was a really easy part.
Yeah.
And then it obviously came time to go to port.
Yeah.
For us, the closest port that makes sense was Newark.
Yeah.
And it's about a 6-hour drive from here, depending on traffic.
Right.
We tried to hit it as best we could. So we went down, and you're going down to the port, literally. So, like, wide open spaces, train tracks, like, a bunch of, like, bobtail, like, trailer trucks, like, just going around, just
speeding
everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And you're just like, holy crap, like, this is the real deal.
And is right next to an airport as well.
Yeah, it was right next to Newark, which makes sense because stuff's coming off, going on.
Yeah.
And so
very busy place.
Yeah, we went down, and basically the port, like, office is on the corner of 2 different streets.
Yeah.
And there's, like, just all these pull-offs on the street beside it.
Yeah.
So we find a place, and we pull off on the truck and trailer, park it there.
Yeah.
Kind
of close to where you come in and out of the gate as well.
Yeah, it wasn't
so
bad.
I mean, it's not like we're in this long queue or anything either. So I was kind of surprised at that.
Me too.
There's
we pretty
not
much
that much
walked
action.
Right up.
Yeah, not that much going on at what 10:45
10:45 a.m. Yeah,
on a Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was so we park it, we go walk over, and first we walk right in the office and like, are you new here? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you got to check in with security. I'm like, okay, no problem, but he's not out there.
Yeah, because we did try.
Yeah, I walked right into the security office. Yeah, I mean, but it turns out he's in there shooting the shit with them.
Right.
We got to go out there and wait for him. So we go out there and wait, and I give him the paperwork, and he's like, all right. He's like, so what are you doing? He's like, yeah, what are you guys doing? Or what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm picking up a car. And he's like, okay, who's he? And I'm like,
yeah.
This is like my partner. We're here to pick up a car. He's like, no, you're here to pick up a car. He's here to wait. And I'm just like, okay.
Dude was like
so
way too aggressive. He's like, absolutely not. You're here to pick up a car.
Yeah.
He's here to do nothing in my port.
Twiddle
This
his
is my
thumb.
port.
Yeah. And it was just like, it was weird because it's like, so what you're actually trying to say is, I apologize, gentlemen, but only one person at a time can enter the port.
Yeah,
Is that what you're trying to say, dude?
Right.
Just like, but that was the biggest hiccup that we had, was that guy being, a little.
And he was pissed off because your papers were stapled together.
Oh yeah, he's like, who in the hell stapled these papers together? And I'm like, I don't know, somebody with a stapler. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, what's the big deal? But so whatever. He cooled down, and we were able to get me over there. You pretty much, after him, you go inside.
Yeah.
You have to pay a $35 fee to talk to them, which is wild.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, like it was a $35 fee to deal with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, whatever. You have to pay it on this special website. But then after that, it's pretty much like, all right, cool, somebody will escort you over to the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? That's it? You like looked at my papers and now I get to the car?
Yeah.
Like, really? Okay, cool. So guy walks me over, like doesn't talk to me the whole time, like just walks me over. I'm like, oh, there it is right there. He like keeps walking, like I don't know which car is mine. Stops, backtracks. He says, yeah, this is the car right here. And I'm like, it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, all right, bud. And so he's just like, all right, walks off. Like literally guy just had to walk me 150 feet, then just leaves
that was
me
it?
there. Yeah. It was right on the other side of what you couldn't see.
Dude, that's
wild. It was
wild.
right there, yeah. I was so surprised.
What, keys in it? Just like ready to rip?
Yeah.
Like,
well, not really, because the battery was dead as a doorknob, whatever that
means. Dude, whatever that means, dude. But definitely
it was
dead, huh?
Yeah, so.
Which we kind of knew.
Yeah, I figured. So.
You brought a jump pack.
I brought my jump pack.
I brought a jump
yours,
pack.
yeah.
I was like,
so I brought mine out, and for whatever reason, I don't know, it just would not give that thing power. Like, I tried every which way.
Right. That thing's never let you down.
Yeah, I know. And so I come back out. I'm like, hey, dude, I need you to get the thing, you know.
And I'm like, oh, man, we didn't charge it on the way down. And I'm always sketched out because it's a smaller one. I'm like, it's got to have a full charge to jump a car because that's what it takes to jump mine on it at least. And I only get one jump with it. So it's like,
which is wild.
Right. So, yeah, I ran back to the truck, got it, brought it back. And I was like, hope it works.
Yeah.
Like,
meanwhile, security guy came back to me and goes, is there a problem? Because I'm standing there waiting for you. He's like, is there a problem? And I'm like, no, just waiting on a jump pack. Like, sorry. Like, sorry to stand in your space.
He's like, you know what? First the staples, first the buddy, then the stapler, now the jump pack. Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
Is this your first day at port, buddy?
This is your last warning.
Yeah. That's strike number 3. You're almost out, bud.
And so his jump pack started it literally immediately. Like, the car started right up. We were good to go.
You came right around the corner not too long after, and I was like, wow, that thing really worked on that?
Yeah.
Like, sick. All right, cool. This is it.
This is it. Yeah.
You hop out, walk over to me, and that was it, right? I was like, is that it?
I had to give him a piece of paper in which he verifies where I signed and where the like handler guy who brought me over there signs. And then he was like, see ya.
That's,
Get the hell out of my port.
Yeah,
Pretty much is what he said.
Get that thing off my fucking property.
So we
Yeah.
get it loaded up, you know, and yeah, there's like probably 2 to 3 other guys loading up
Yeah.
stuff there too.
Yeah. They had like there was a person with like a random Civic sedan like
Yeah, just the
in
weird
in a
stuff.
K truck. Like what? Who's even what? Who
Who's
bought that?
getting this?
Who's
Yeah.
getting that? Where's this going?
There was a cool Evo 5 at the port.
There was. That is one thing that I could see,
Yeah.
but like, it was one of the only things I could see.
Yeah, it was it. That was it though. That was the only other like cool car. There was a lot of different stuff there, like garbage garbage trucks and front end loaders and all this different stuff that was
Yeah.
coming off boats, and I just couldn't believe like how much stuff can really fit on boats if you think about it and how
Oh,
much
yeah.
weight.
Dude,
Like
yeah.
holy moly.
I mean, those ships are huge.
they
and,
really
like,
are.
Yeah, just being there, driving past those like I guess cranes or whatever at the port wherever they offload the containers, I suppose. Like that just looks crazy, and it's like that is just a lot of moving parts and
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
lot of just big stuff going on.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot
just, like,
of
it's cool.
yeah, and there's a lot of opportunity to like have accidents happen, I feel like.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. I mean, that's just like a lot of stuff moving all the time, and
Yeah.
like
So the
a lot going
the
on
only
there.
thing we really noticed, like, so as far as damage at port or on the ship, the only thing we really noticed was one decent door ding.
Yeah.
In the driver's side door,
Yeah.
but otherwise, like, it seemed to have came to us how we left it. Also, minus like some, I don't know, sea squirt water all over it, whatever it is. There's definitely a layer of like
Right.
dirty water on it.
And I mean, I think that's to be expected, right? Like whenever you do get something over, unless you, I don't know, I guess there's probably higher end shipping companies or whatever that you have to pay a premium for. But like, you got to expect that the people handling these cars, that they don't know what they are. They're not treating them like
Yeah,
gold.
they don't care.
You know what I mean? They're like walking by, scuffing them, door
Yeah.
dinging, like whatever. It's just another car to them. It's another thing they got to move. It's another whatever. So, yeah, it sucks, but I think that's one of those like
It's part of
it's
it.
part of it type of things, and you can't be too upset about it because at the end of the day, most of that stuff can be PDR'd or buffed out or
Right. Yeah.
whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Does
It's
it
just more
suck?
money. Yeah.
Yeah, it does suck, but at the end of the day, it's still a sick car.
Yeah, at the end of the
But
day, like
it's
around
still-
11:30 at night, it's still an R34 in the garage. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that is true. You know, there is gonna be. It's not always gonna be perfect.
Yeah, and just understand that whenever you do get these cars, but don't be like, oh yeah, I got the menace, most pristine example of this and that, and like, don't be surprised if it gets a door ding. Like,
Yeah, because that was me.
because-
I'm like, I got the lowest mileage GTT in the United States.
yeah,
But now
I
it
think
has
that is
But
true.
but now it has a door ding.
Right, but like, yeah, I mean, some PDR,
PDR,
and like
yeah.
whatever. It's a little bit of a headache, but the car is still sick.
Some PB and J, and that thing will be all set. So what happens pretty much is after that, we get it on the car. We start making what was supposed to be a 6-hour trip back, and ends up being like almost 8 hours because of traffic. And had the car strapped down good, but unfortunately, in one of the cities, it was a huge bump,
yeah,
and we
dude.
didn't see it coming. We
It
hit
was
that thing.
huge,
Yeah.
dude. I
It
actually,
was-
yeah,
It was a peak.
yeah, dude. I went through that same part in my truck a few days later, and I hit it at 70, and like I literally jumped my truck.
And he's got a ZI too.
ZR2 kid,
So
and like, dude, it scared me, and like we were doing at least 70 through there,
yeah.
and like with a trailer, like
Let's just say,
Holy
yeah,
cow,
all the
dude.
wheels were off the ground. for
had to
sure,
be
yeah.
like holy cow,
So
dude.
when we
I would
get
not
home-
expect that.
Yeah, I know it's done.
I think they fixed it now, but like
I'm sure they did
holy
a week later.
shit, dude.
Yeah, so when we get home, I'm circling around the car, and I notice that one of the straps, when we hit that bump, one of the straps had put a lot of pressure on the bottom of the bumper and
Yeah.
cracked it. And it is like a full Nismo kit,
Yeah.
so I was a little sad
Mid-logo.
and it's discontinued since '99.
Yeah,
So I was
pretty rare
like-
kit.
Yeah, it's really rare, and so it got smashed, and I was really kind of bummed, but I took it to my buddy Jason. He fixed it
Yeah.
up. You never know that it ever happened, which is great.
It was smashed, but it wasn't bigger than a quarter, and it was on that backside. It wasn't like
Yeah.
the whole bumper flew
Yeah,
off or
no,
nothing like
but,
that.
like,
But it is fiber.
yeah,
It is a
It is
fiberglass kit,
fiberglass, yeah.
so you can repair it and you can restore it. I guess you
right.
could say.
And
So
now it's mint. So
Yeah,
now
it's
it's in
mint
the
now.
past. It never happened.
right, but yeah, brand new thing and like
Yeah, it was
you
mint.
it's like, dude, come on. And yeah, I was upset about that too because
Because that was the only thing wrong. Like, otherwise, the thing's mint. If you're on YouTube, you can see it over here in the
Yeah.
background. I mean, the thing's mint. So, yeah, of course, when you get that little issue with something that's mint, it's magnified.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's the only thing. It's
Right,
not
right,
like there's a bunch of it, So, basically, we get it back. I take the bumper to Jason, start getting that repaired, and then I wanted to start working on getting it registered.
Right, because that's the last biggest hurdle, right?
That is the last biggest
That's the
hurdle.
last big unknown. Like, what do I do with all this paperwork? And
Yeah,
what if my town
what do
office
they
doesn't know what I'm
want? Do
talking
they
about?
know?
Like,
Yeah, exactly. So basically, first I got to call up who I use for insurance for these type of cars, which is American Collectors. And
nice.
so I call them up and I'm like, hey, this is the car. This is how much I'd like to insure it for. Okay, that sounds great. We need pictures of the interior, engine, and all sides of the car.
Have they done that for your previous cars?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, yeah, we'll do it. Let's do it. It's going to add you $300 a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's
Not
cool.
bad.
Yeah, $300.
$300 a year?
Yeah, to add this on top of the other two.
Give me 2 of them.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, let me get 2 policies, please. But yeah, so that was easy. Boom, check. They sent me that. I sent them money. We got
So
that.
got insurance.
Yes.
So now you're able to go to the
town office and
Right.
see what.
or I guess in most places it'd be the DMV, BMV, whatever it might
Yeah,
be.
which would stink because all the people would be there. I wouldn't be able to just go down to our good old ladies down at the town office that
Right.
know
Lu-
about our fancy Japanese cars.
Right. That's I guess one of those lucky things like being in a smaller town you can I don't know. Those people
You
kind of
can-
know you.
Yeah, and then you can finesse them a little bit. Like
Right.
I was walking them through some of the process,
Right.
so to speak.
It's like, come on, it's
steering
4B2
them.
W947.
Yeah,
Come on.
come on.
Come on, Cheryl, you know.
you know. Yeah, so I go down, and it was actually the town manager who ended up helping me out. She's a nice lady. She's worked with us on our business stuff, and so she starts going down through. She's like, you know what, Bobby, we're just gonna wing it. And I was like, yeah, I like to wing things, like because often it works out in my favor.
Yeah.
And so she starts going through and she's filling out these papers about title not present and some different stuff, and all of a sudden she's like, Bobby, I'm gonna have you get this VIN verification. And I'm like,
What
VIN
does that
verification?
mean? Yeah.
I'm like, hold on.
You want to come by the house?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. I'm like, come on, yeah.
like, you want to come verify?
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
I'm like, what do you mean? And
I'll
she's
drive it
like,
up, whatever.
well, actually, you have to have it done by a police officer or a state inspection station. I'm like,
Uh-oh.
but how can I get this done by a state inspection station if it's not registered?
Right.
Like, how does that work? And
Right.
she's like, then you have to call dispatch for the police and have them send a unit over in order to do this verification. And
just
at
call
this point,
dispatch for the
yeah,
police.
yeah, just call dispatch. I'm
Come
like,
on.
I'm
Just
like,
call
come
the
on, I
police
don't
to your
call
house.
dispatch.
Like,
yeah, I don't
just
do
call,
that.
Just call them on over.
But and so I'm like, all right, it's currently 2:00, 2:30.
Yeah.
They close at 4:30. I'm just trying to get this done today. Like,
Right.
I don't want to carry this over into the next business.
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
And so, pretty much, I get back to the garage here, and I do call dispatch. I let them know. They call me back. They get the VIN, and then a sheriff shows up, and it was actually a guy that I already knew that had done some things with us at a prior business engagement or whatever. And so I was like, hey, man, and he's like this Russian guy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
all into the car, and he's like talking about the Japanese cars and driving on the right-hand side and stuff. But he comes and he verifies the VIN, he fills everything out.
Yeah.
Takes him less than 5 minutes, hands it back to me. He says, "All right, you're good to go. Go register your car."
Sick.
Again, I'm like,
That's
it? Like,
You don't want to like take it for a rip or nothing?
yeah, I'm like, get in, dude.
Like, yeah, like what? Did
like,
he?
get in.
He just literally
He just
looked
wrote
at the
down
VIN,
the info, yes, and then gave me the piece of paper. Like,
signed it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, did he have like a stamp, a special like
no,
watermark, wax, like
Nothing.
stamp?
No,
nothing?
no.
Like nothing.
he
Like
literally just he signed it and gave it to me. Like, I could have just written the stuff in myself if
Stop.
I wanted. Yeah. So I was like, wow, okay, cool, this is great. So I go back over. I talk to Christine, who is the town manager, and I'm like, I got it. She's like, wow, good job, whatever. So we continue the process.
Yeah.
And so, oh wow, I just noticed that she put 2002 on my title application. It's a 98, but she put 2002
Wow.
on my title. Sorry, we just realized I got a 2002 instead of a 98.
Wow, dude.
They're gonna be like, that ain't 25 years old. So anyways,
Dum dum dum.
yeah, I mean, it's
Always
not her
proofread
fault. Yeah,
before
she,
you leave.
She like she's doing her best.
Yeah,
alright?
yeah,
Like,
no, I mean,
that's what's
it's-
hard. Another hang up that they had was like the registration wants mileage, not kilometers.
Right.
And then, but the title has a spot for kilometers, which is what the car actually is and what it should be titled under. So we just had this problem where she's putting in 20,000 miles. Well, she's trying to put in 34,000 kilometers,
Right.
but the registration won't take that.
Right.
So then she's trying to put in the miles in the registration, but it automatically copies it to the title application. Like, it was just like another little headache, right? Like,
right.
just because we're registering
within
a
their
Japanese
system,
car.
it's like a
Yeah. And so she ended up just kind of putting both so that I guess, I don't know, I'm sure the title department's going to get this and be like, what is
in the
going on?
hell is
This is not a
this?
2002. It doesn't actually have both miles and kilometers. You know, like, they're just going to be like,
Right.
what the heck? But, I mean, this is still minor, you know, because I'm walking out of
Wow.
there with a registration. I'm walking out of there with plates. I'm
With a
walking out
plate.
of there. Yeah, I'm walking out of there able to drive the car as soon as I get the plate on it, which is like what I needed.
It was
right?
on like whenever I came in like that day. I was
Yeah,
like, wow.
I
Didn't
know.
waste no
The
time.
10 minutes in between me coming here and yeah. So that was kind of the thing was we just needed to get the plate, right? Like, from the minute I bought it until the minute I got the plate, that's all I needed to do was get the plate.
Yeah.
In my head, you know. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because
it has been a thing up here.
Yes,
Like, I couldn't
sure.
register my car up here, and I had a title. I had insurance, and they would not let me register it.
yeah.
But now
It's
I
weird up
did
here.
within, like, I don't know if something changed, like, but yeah, now I have a main tag, and like it was
Fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
It was
it's
literally
weird.
nothing. It's so weird. But a
Yeah.
couple years ago, when I first got the car, it was impossible, and I had to do stupid stuff to even get a title and get it registered and
Yeah.
get a tag. So like, right, there's definitely a reason to have some anxiety about like getting the plate, because yeah, that's always a thing with these cars. It's like
Yes. it's
Getting-
until you get
getting
that
it
plate.
legit,
yeah.
right?
Until you get that, you're sweating.
Right, and
you
the
know.
and the title with that
Yeah.
VIN on it that matches the one that hasn't
Yeah.
been VIN swapped from a 240 or
Yes,
whatever
exactly.
it might be.
To get it completely legitimate is always the concern, but I feel like I understand the process now.
Yeah.
I got extra VIN verification forms, so next time I'm able to just have that done before I even go there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really feel like it was not nearly as bad as we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And it all kind of went fairly smooth, you know, beyond the drive to the port and stuff. Like, everything kind of went smooth.
Yeah.
Like, no
Yeah,
major
yeah, yeah.
like hiccups. You know, I didn't have to call Trevor for a single thing. Everything was provided that I needed. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, this isn't even a huge stack of papers.
No.
Like, it's really not bad. So overall, I would, as before, I would recommend importing it yourself,
Yep.
saving the money from the middleman, and just like facing it.
Right.
That's what I would personally recommend, because now that I've done it and I have the car that I wanted, and that I didn't just settle for one,
Yeah.
and throughout the whole process I've had a bunch of support and stuff, I would for sure work with Trevor or another exporter over there and just import it yourself.
Yeah.
Deal with the little headaches, because in the end it definitely adds up to like a lot of savings, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So the broker, Sound Brokerage,
Yeah.
are they specific to the New York port, or are
No.
they anybody can get them?
Yeah, anybody.
Any port in
They're
the
from
U.S.
Washington.
They're from Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, sounds legit.
yeah, I mean, it was legit. It was like super easy, and then I just PayPal'd them the $2,000 fee, and
Yeah,
that was it. Car's released.
that's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't seem that bad at all. Like if you did a few more, would you still get a broker and try to like do it yourself, or
No, I would-
try to do it
no,
yourself, or would you
no.
always just get a broker?
I would just use the broker, because their fee wasn't even that much out of all that.
Yeah.
The customs fee was the most. So
Decent.
like,
So that's something probably that
I would have
companies-
them do that. I wouldn't even want to spend my time. Like,
Right. So most of these import companies probably have a broker that they use.
Yeah.
And
For sure. Or they have a broker on staff, so to speak.
Right, right,
Somebody who
right.
specializes in that.
Yeah.
Because just knowing the people to contact to get these papers pushed through, I wouldn't know them.
right.
I wouldn't
yeah.
have those contacts. So she had contacts that she instantly like was able to clear things. And,
Right.
Like, yeah. So I mean, I see the value in it 100%. I mean, maybe if you were doing 20 cars a year, you might want to like save that money. But like
Right.
again, the fee was not a lot for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Decent.
So yeah, I mean that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Episode 32,
Yeah.
kind of port clearing and registration of your right-hand drive car. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always just DM us at RHDGUIS, and we can definitely try to point you in the right direction. And if you do need an exporter, hit up Trevor from Kizo. If you need a broker, hit up Becky from Sound Brokerage.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's it for today. We're out. Peace.
See ya.